So we played a video last week. Let's start with that. We played a video last week where a Ghanaian was talking about the development where one person called Dr. Ihenetu, I think, bought about 50 acres of land. And of course, the idea basically, it's looking like, at least from the Ghanaian perspective, it's looking like it's about to make the land become like a, how do I put it now? The land is not just for self, it's for his community, which means that that place, in the next few years, I hear people saying things like they are indigenous to Ghana. I've heard people who say they are indigenous to South Africa, Igbos. And I think it's good that this is happening so that you rightly understand how these things work, and you understand that, okay, this is something that people are talking about in different parts of the world, and that when you speak about it, it's, if you have it in your heart already, you should sort it. But if you're just trying to speak for your people, but then you find that thing holding you back because you don't want to be seen as bad, you're not the problem. You're not the problem. And it's important for you to know that. And I've said it several times, if everybody is complaining about a particular group, perhaps that group should also, introspect. Maybe there's something they're seeing there that they need to talk about. So this is what this is one of the major things happening on social media. I came around TikTok a couple of times during the weekend, and I saw people having live sessions discussing it. We're not going to really discuss it. We're just going to learn and understand what is going on now so that we can move to the topic of today. Before we go on, I want you to listen to the man himself. That's Dr. Chukwudu Jude Ihenetu. So he got an interview, and by the way, what I'm seeing right now is nauseating. You have a throne, you have lion motif, you have the whole place looking like a palace. It's nonsense. The best you can have is to have association of people from your town or from your ethnic group, and then you are the leader, you are the chairman. You can be the chairman of that association, and it is not something you can transfer hereditary, like you can transfer to your children. No, it's an association. It's not a kingdom. Once you start having thrones and palaces and people speak up, then you say, you know what, let's play the stuff first, so it doesn't, at least you're able to find something to connect what I'm about to say. Please take a listen to this.
And looking at you as an Igbo king, that means you stand solely for the people of the Igbo land. Do you allow other tribes from other places like Nigeria and other places right here in Ghana to come to you for assistance just in case they need any?
Yeah, Jesus is the savior of the world, but he started from Israel. So the tribe that made me to sit where I am today is the Igbo tribe.
Yeah.
But remember that I'm a Nigerian. Igbo is inside Nigeria.
Yeah.
And every Nigerian, every Igbo man will believe so much in ourselves. As soon as you cross the border, you are not seeing like Igbo again, like Yoruba again, like Hausa again, but you see like a Nigerian. So the throne of the diaspora Igbo throne in Ghana is protecting Igbos, defending Igbos, projecting Igbos, defending Nigerians, projecting Nigerians, and all tribes in Nigeria. In extension, also support everybody that comes around us, irrespective of the country where you're coming from and the tribe where you're coming from.
Did you hear the diaspora? I want to play that thing again, just a line, Mobombe.
The tribe that made me to sit where I am today is the Igbo tribe.
Yeah.
But remember that I'm a Nigerian. Igbo is inside Nigeria.
Yeah.
And every Nigerian, every Igbo man will believe so much in ourselves. As soon as you cross the border, you are not seeing like Igbo again, like Yoruba again, like Hausa again, but you see like a Nigerian. So the throne of the diaspora Igbo throne in Ghana is protecting Igbos, defending.
What does it mean to say the diasporan Igbo crown, Igbo throne? I've said it several times. It doesn't really matter how educated certain people are. It's a cultural issue. They are trying to get something that others got centuries ago. Somebody wrote something here earlier, but Yoruba people, they say Yoruba people also have a community in Ghana. So number one, the Yoruba community in Ghana actually existed there long before colonization. I was saying something last week that a lot of migrations happened in the 18th century. That's in the 1700s of Yoruba people moving there. Apart from the fact that there are some people who actually have been there for a long time. So you have certain groups, for instance, that are essentially indigenous to that space now. Anything happening now is a people trying to go there and take a space that people have done. See, the point is not that what you are doing is even a problem. It's that your timing is wrong because you are a late bloomer. And you blooming very late should not be the headache of other people. The fact that you did not do it 300 years ago, 500 years ago, 600 years ago, you can't do it again. For instance, you don't see people traveling all over the place, colonizing people everywhere. That era has passed. It happened, but it's over now. You don't see people traveling all over the place and trying to do it because the time has passed. You came late. And I've always said it sincerely, I wish people can see my heart. Certain people in Nigeria live at least 700 years behind time, behind everybody else, and they don't know. We're all speaking English language. We all wear shirts and ties. We all, use phones and mobile stuff, and we're all educated and all of those things. But in reality, culturally, some people are so backward. The only thing that can make them catch up fast is if they will acknowledge the backwardness. But I don't think anybody wants to acknowledge anything because it makes people feel good to be told that they are powerful and all of those things, which makes no sense. But let me play some things from Ghanaians and what they are saying about this before we move to other things this morning. Or it's afternoon, actually, this afternoon. So please take a listen to this.
No, you can just tell me to give my submission. I don't want to be part of any chaos, you understand? So,
then give your submission, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you. My issue here is that I'm an estate agent. I do work in real estate. And I have a lot of customers who come all the way from Nigeria to buy land, buy house, rent houses here in Ghana. We don't have that issue. If you even look at the historical ties between Nigerians and Ghanaians, the area I reside right now is dominated by this tribe from Nigeria, the Yoruba people. 80% of them, of that people in that area are Yorubas. And we even speak Yoruba. I can't speak Yoruba, but when I went to live there, that's when I realized that they were the dominant tribe there. And they have been living there. They have their Sarakuna. They also have Sarki Hausawa, Sarki, a lot of things. And nobody has ever had issues with them. Because they are living with Ghanaians as Ghanaians. Most of them have made themselves Ghanaians. And nobody has ever complained about anything about them.
Did you hear that line, what she just said? They live with Ghanaians as Ghanaians, and so nobody have issues with them. The real issue, let me tell you what the real issue is. The real issue is a person who gets into your space, makes himself superior to you, and wants to have his own space to have a king. It's not the king. It's the fact that this person doesn't really care about the owners of the land, and you have seen the propensity of that person laying claim on stuff. So in a few years, you might have Accra Igbo. And then, by the way, their myth will change. You just hear that their deity or their ancestor actually came via Owerri and then somehow landed in Ghana. That's what happens. People look at, they have king. It's not about that. What will make you buy acres of land? So, number one, what will make you marry somebody from that place? By the way, if you really want to know that thing, get the book by Joe Bokwe. The book is called Igbos 25 Years After the War. Marriage is a strategy. It's in the book. I don't think, people write stuff, but then sometimes they also know that they're putting out what exactly they're doing. So marriage is a strategy. You get married to the person and then you're able to lay claim on the land. Now, the Yoruba people, apart from those ones who are indigenous to that space before the creation of Ghana, Nigeria, and all of those things, the new ones who moved there in the last, let's say, if all of them have been moving there before Nigeria, before Ghana and Nigeria even were created, some of the ones who have moved there in the last maybe 50, 60, 70 years, they recognize whose space is it. They're not buying houses they're not buying communities. I don't even get it. To be honest, let me see if I can find that book. I want to read you something from that book. It will help you understand why people are behaving, especially if you're Igbo and you're wondering why are they behaving like this. How about they don't do this to other people? Why is it just us? They hate us. I'm seeing Igbophobia in Ghana. It's the height of stupidity to think everybody hates you. You're not Chris. Everybody hates Chris. Who knows that series? You're not Chris. This idea that everybody hates you is just childish. All right, let me read to you something from this book. Let me read something to you. It says here, the Igbos are increasingly aware of their unpopularity in the country. This fact has enabled them to band themselves more solidly than ever before, wherever they may be, into groups in opposition to the dominant native population. They will listen, guys. This is not. The book is called Igbos 25 Years After Biafra, Joe Ibokwe. I love books. People write and they really say what's in their minds. Let's listen and be blessed. The Igbos are increasingly aware of their unpopularity in the country. This fact has enabled them to band themselves more solidly than ever before, wherever they may be, into groups in opposition to the dominant native population. No sane person does this. Where you band yourself and make yourself the opposition to the you make yourself opposition to the dominant native population. The Igbos, as immigrants, want to belong in spite of all the hostilities. They do not want to be treated as outsiders, and their desire for absorption into the native population is generally manifested in two ways. One is by marrying the indigenous woman, and two, by building houses and owning other forms of immovable property, including land. Having married the daughters of the land of their adoption and also accepting the responsibilities of citizenship, it is not without justification that they should demand recognition as legitimate members of the community concerned. But oftentimes, this genuine demand is interpreted as a subtle move by the wicked immigrants, quote-unquote, wicked immigrants, to invade and control the native social constitutions. You know the funny thing? Just because you are doing all of these things in my house doesn't mean I must allow you or accept you. Like, excuse me, you can try. You can do all these fantastic things in your mind and in your head. You've come up with an idea. You can do it. It's okay. After you have done it, I may still say no. I reserve that right. You know why? It's my home. You have a home too now. So you do all this, and then the fact that it's even proud to write it, that like they become the opposition to the dominant native population. It's what you see all over the place. That mindset, which, by the way, there are many. Let me read something else to you. I'm coming. Let me read something to you from a doctor of philosophy. His name is Dr. F.N. Ndubisi. He's in the philosophy department of University of Lagos. It says here, if you are keen on a research work on why people condemn the Igbos the way they do, you will be stunned by your findings and how spurious the reasons are. While a set of people posit that the Igbos are too aggressive and adventurous, others will say they are proud and domineering. Yet another set argue that they are materialistic and individualistic. Despite all these problems, Igbo have continued to make contributions more than any other ethnic group in the economic, political, and educational advancement of Nigeria. That statement that I finished with is the reason you're having problem everywhere you go. He says, despite all these problems, Igbo have continued to make contributions more than any other ethnic group in the economic, political, and educational advancement of Nigeria. The fact that if people cannot see their greatness without comparing themselves with others and making themselves feel better than others by saying to the others that they are better than them, that is a problem. This one says, you said Joe Ibokwe is not an Igbo man. I'm saying, what of Dr. F.N. Ndubisi? That one is Igbo, Abi. Some of you, there is a loose knot in your brains. It's only one that makes you feel like a victim. Talking like, oh, when you go there, just say, it's because you are domineering. And after saying that, the next thing he says is that we have contributed more than any other group. You think they are really just saying it, or you are acting in a way that makes them uncomfortable in their space? He literally just said, despite all these problems, Indigo have contributed to make contributions more than any other group. And you are saying they're just complaining about you being being proud and domineering. Yet your next line says you have done more than any other person. You are literally proving the point. Oh, they hate me. The things they say, you're spurious. They say I'm adventurous and aggressive. They say I'm proud and domineering. But guess what? Regardless of what they're saying, they say I'm materialistic, I'm individualistic. But regardless of what I'm saying, let me tell you something. I have contributed more than all of them. Meanwhile, everything they are saying is a lie. You just said it. You are literally proving the point. The marriage is intentional. Buying land is intentional. Yoruba people buy land everywhere. We know that even though we have land, and brothers, we have lands in different places. But guess what? It is not our space. It belongs to the community. We are just living with them. That's why we assimilate or integrate amongst them. Not walking around the place saying that I bought land, therefore I can claim indigenship rights. Well, we're going to get to that today. There was a constitutional public hearing for constitutional amendment over the weekend. That's not how it works. So again, what you think people are just saying, oh, they're just jealous. The allegations are spurious. All those people you are speaking, your action actually confirms what they are saying. For me, reading this thing in this book is actually just crazy, because how can you quote something or say something and say and dismiss it, then you go ahead to do the exact same thing that you dismissed or that you have been dismissive of, which shows that you are exactly what they say you are. It's amazing. But let's listen a little bit more before we get into other things.
Yeah, to say that we are coming to create a kingdom in a sovereign land, coming from another country to create a kingdom. You don't even know the damn. No, you can just tell me to give my submission. I don't want to be part of any chaos, you understand? So,
give your submission,
yes, sir, thank you. My issue here is that I'm an estate agent. I do work in real estate, and I have a lot of customers who come all the way from Nigeria to buy land, buy house, rent houses here in Ghana. We don't have that issue. If you even look at the historical ties between Nigerians and Ghanaians, the area I reside right now is dominated by this tribe from Nigeria, the Yoruba people. 80% of them, of that people in that area are Yorubas. And we even speak Yoruba. I can't speak Yoruba, but when I went to live there, that's when I realized that they were the dominant tribe there. And they have been living there. They have their Sarakuna. They also have a Sarki Hausawa, Sarki, this, a lot of things. And nobody has ever had issues with them, because they are living with Ghanaians as Ghanaians. Most of them have made themselves Ghanaians, and nobody has ever complained about anything about them. So if people have come out all of a sudden on social media to say that we are coming to create a kingdom in a sovereign land, coming from another country to create a kingdom, you don't even know the damage this thing is doing to even the Igbos living in Ghana right now who want to do business. Because it seems that some bloggers who are from the Igbo side, they've taken this as a contract to kind of destabilize the peaceful nature of Ghanaians, calling us names, saying there's going to be attacking of Igbos. And many Igbos that are here call Ghana their home. They don't even want to go to Nigeria anymore. So what all these keyboard warriors on social media, TikTok, whatever are doing, they are just trying to bully people. You can't bully somebody in his country. No way, it's not going to happen. When I visited Nigeria, I went there and we followed the rules and regulations. My dad bought a house, they took the house from him. We couldn't fight because they said he didn't pay, he didn't follow the process. We didn't shout. We didn't call Nigerians xenophobic. We didn't say all these things. So for those of you who will open the platforms and say for Ghanaian Nigerians who are not living in Ghana to come and be antagonizing or trying to gaslight us, call us names, let me assure you of something. The Igbos who have left Nigeria for good do not agree with your statements. All those who are coming in like wolves in sheep clothing saying that this and that, no, they don't care about you. Not many of them do not even know they have a king here who is trying to claim, create a kingdom. They didn't ask him to do that. And even the lands that you are talking about, most of the lands were not bought with the name of the Igbos. They use Ghanaians to front those buying of those land. That is why there's an investigation and on this issue. So if you know what you want to do is genuine, why are you using Ghanaians to purchase the land? Because why should the Ghanaian name be on the community you want to build on your own if you are doing everything genuine? So we don't care about him. We don't know him. Me like this, I'm finding out about him this week. I saw thousands of Igbos and Nigerians, the Yorubas, the Hausas living in Ghana. The Hausas control markets in Nigeria, in Ghana here, in charge of markets for centuries, and they are still here with their descendants. We don't know I have issues with them. So please, to all the keyboard warriors who are out there receiving contracts and trying to cause chaos, Ghanaians are not xenophobic. Nobody knows us at that. The man is even married to a beautiful Ghanaian woman because he wants to be a Ghanaian. So if we tell him to follow our laws, he has no choice than to follow it, or else he should just leave. He can take his wife to Nigeria and go and create the kingdom there because he's from there. But if he's to live in Ghana we don't have a king in Ghana. We have tribal chiefs. We have Hausa tribal chiefs. We have Yoruba tribal chiefs in Ghana. Powerful ones. Those who speak to the president. So we don't want any chaos. Don't sit in London. Don't sit in America. Don't sit in Canada and start opening platforms because that is what you are good at, to try to paint Ghanaians as bad. No. Shout out to all the Nigerians who are in Ghana here, marrying Ghanaian women and paying hefty bride price. We are not like that. We are not tribalistic. Take your tribalism away. Ghanaians don't care about this. We just want people to follow the rules because we woke up one morning and saw a news that they are creating a kingdom. No Ghanaian has ever gone to any country to create a kingdom in a sovereign land. We create our royalties, but we can never do that. So to all of you who are fanning the flames of xenophobia, comparing Ghanaians going back, because we live with them. Yorubas have been here for thousands of years. Hausas have been here for thousands of years. Some of us are their descendants. We don't have issues. Don't bring all these issues to Ghana. Anybody?
All right. What you don't have, you can't give. If you don't have wisdom, you can't give it. So when Ghanaians are speaking and people say, oh, shut up, all this and that, people are saying stuff in the comment section and all of that. Just understand the fact that there's a way sensible people, create their space. And it's quite interesting. Now, thinking about it, she mentioned something about Hausa. I just remembered now that, guys, in the 1890s, Dangote's grandfather, Alassane Dangote, the one whose last Amino Dangote just passed on, that man, the richest man in West Africa, he was in Ghana in the 1890s as a teenager, trading before the railway in Kano. When they created railway, when they built the railway in Kano, he said to travel back to Nigeria and then start trading from BBG. That's in Kano. He was in Ghana. The Hausas have been going there. The Yoruba people have been going there. Sorry, there's a clown who's just disturbing me. 1 second though. They've been going there. They go, they come back. Like, people have been trading. The Yoruba people have been trading there for 3, 4, 500 years. Like, it's not new, right? Even Oyo had connections with Ghana at the time. There are so many. The difference is this. And by the way, to the Yoruba people that are sending some messages, oh, but they are Yoruba Oba in Ghana. These are leaders of their people. These are leaders with no kingdom. Do you know why people are angry? Why Ghanaians are angry? You are creating a kingdom in 2025. It's different from you are leading your people who reside in this particular part of the world. You are leading them as an ethnic, group, right? But not that you would have this thing where you are creating a parallel kingdom, a parallel government in another man's land, and when they speak, you say they have phobia. They don't have phobia. You are the one who doesn't have sense, or you are the one who don't have sense. Because if you think about it, creating kingdoms mean that you are telling them that before you know what's happening, you are now indigenous to that space. Why would you buy acres of land for your community in a foreign space? Your Bible, if you are looking for a reason to speak up, this is your sign. Like, do it in love. But just like this lady, she's not fighting anybody. She's not hating on anybody. She has no phobia. She's not afraid of anybody. She's telling you exactly what it is. You cannot have kingdoms being developed in the 21st century. And that's why we are also against all these ones that are where, I don't know whether it's heart or tray, calling themselves Ezedigbo of Kiniko. It is nonsense. It's nonsense. Other people will just have their spaces where they're able to. Guys, anytime you see me turning around, it's because a madman just came in, or a mad woman. They come in twos, but this is not the Ark of Noah. So you may have to go to the one at Nri, area. What do you call that thing? The one at you see some of these clowns. Ezechima. Before you hear now, Ezechima is from Ghana. If I have the time, I'll play that thing. But it's not today's topic. Today's topic, go, is about what happened to Victor Banjo. But like we always do, we talk about the news before getting to the conversation. So a lot of Nigerians have been traveling. A lot of people have been doing stuff. Before these guys come and say they want to create a kingdom, how can you, as a sane person, go to another person's land, live there, thrive, succeed, get married, then your warped mind, you think the next thing I want to do right now is to create a kingdom in this foreign space that will be mine, but it's not connected to the people of the land. It's connected to my people where I'm coming from. Makes no sense. There are so many videos, but I think we should move on because I'll probably play that later. But let me read something to you from one of these interesting people. Again, I think it's a lack of social intelligence, lack of cultural awareness, and it's not changing anytime soon if people do not choose to change it. Evolve. Everybody is complaining. Evolve. I used to stay in Ghana. They are the laziest people ever. By the way, I'll tell you the name of the person later. They closed down my shop in Tiptoe Line that year because we are making more sales. Any small thing, go back to your country. But they have people here doing business without any problems. That's why most of the music artists cannot thrive anywhere unless Ghana. The person who wrote this, of course, is Ikechukwu. Do you know this thing? I played videos here, but not today. Yorubas are the laziest people. Benin's are the laziest people. Ishan are lazy. Uyo, Akwa Ibom, Ibibio people are the laziest. Everywhere you go, everybody that's there, they are the laziest people. But you are more entrepreneurial than them because you were made specially by God. That God that made you special definitely is not God that created the heavens and the earth. It's the one inside your bathroom. You know, the one that when you wash, the water goes can enter that God's eye. So water enter your eye, can't they do nonsense? But we're going to come back to that thing. Yeah.